Homeless, beautiful beings, welcome to Notes of Naja Rashida. I have my handy dandy notebook right here. And today's topic, we're going to discuss dichotomy, exploring the nature of good and evil. For a really long time, I have, we're programmed to believe in the good and evil paradigm. Black is bad, white is good, good versus evil, the hero and the villain. Like that's hell, heaven, feminine, masculine, right, wrong. We are programmed, thank you religion, we are programmed to believe in this split. But really, now where I'm at in my life, I see that it's just two sides of the same coin. It truly is about your perception. I used to believe, my belief maybe about it started to shift in my early 20s, when I noticed that the bad things, the bad experiences that I would have, I would label them as bad. Like, oh, that's a horrible, bad experience. Blah. Now, the things that I've gone through, they're not bad. They're not bad. It is, to me, all good and bad experiences are for your growth, and they're also, it's just part of life. We must experience the highs of life and the lows of life. There are moments where there are high lows and low highs, and it is, knowing when to ride the tide in life, and just, not fight against the currents, right? But this whole thing of I think it has to do with judgment and limited perception, right? It's especially bad things that happen to good people. And I forgot where I heard this before or read it somewhere, but the universe doesn't care if you're good or bad. It really doesn't. That's maybe a hard pill to swallow. Like, how come this child, diagnosed with cancer, and the kid dies? Or how come this elderly person, they got their house robbed? Or how come, this such a loving husband, became paralyzed in an accident? Like, these are all very, like, random things that happen to good people, and it seems like bad people don't get what they deserve. It's very tough, I find, to, when you're in the midst of such heavy human experiences, to see the good in it. And I think that is the lesson in it, is to expand beyond the experience itself. And that takes time. It takes a process. It takes maturity to make it through the dark woods, right? To make it through that horrible time, to see the overall storyline of the experience itself. We are not our experiences. The experiences happen to us. And the trick is to the trick is to not become the experience. You cannot become the rape or the molestation or the suicide attempt or the murder, or the warrior having to do what a soldier needs to do, you know what I'm saying, to win the battle, or the thief, or like, there's so many different, it's so intricate, life is. It's a spider web. It's a spider web. And when I look back at the negative experiences that I have had, I always walk away with gratitude. But it takes me a while to get there. It takes me a while to get there. As an adult woman, I am still processing something in a family situation, and I know I will get to that point where I will reach that space of forgiveness and release. But I'm not there yet. And the very fact that, I have to be honest, even with my own shortcomings about this. But it's just, I'm going to challenge you, my dear viewers, on this, because it's so easy to be like, oh, that's bad, that's good, and we have our moral compass, and we all know right from wrong, and we'll plant somebody who's an angel, but we don't know their demons, right? Oh, that person's such a good person, but you don't know their inner verse. You don't know their internal universe. You don't know their character, the deep inside, their spirit or their soul. And then, or we deem someone who's done a negative act as the demon, but we don't know their angelic side. We embody both angelic and demonic energies and entities within our consciousness. And given the environment, the conditioning, the programming, and circumstances, both are activated throughout our entire life. Others, in one human life, you can have someone's angelic self be completely submersed and completely controlled and dominated by the demonic, right? And so they just naturally are pulled towards the wrong, the black, the dark, the evil. Then you'll have others that are their angelic essence. It suppresses that demonic force within themselves, and they are more, they feel more pulled towards the good, the light, the right, the virtuous, the righteous, the righteousness. Then you'll have people in the middle where they do good deeds, but also to balance out the bad deeds that they've done in their life. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like this beautiful dance. And some people get stuck on one side of the spectrum, and others is just like this figure 8 where they keep going back and forth, trying to balance out the thing called karma, right? I guess. But it's, to me, we are the coin. And we're having to just do this weird dance with the evil and the good within ourselves, with the demonic and the angelic within ourselves. I am not one to externalize power and externalize my faith and energy outside anymore. Praying to a God outside of myself, calling on entities and energies. Why? Why do that? I don't believe we're born in sin, and I don't believe we're born all in love and light either. A lot of us are born right straight into hell. I swear to God. You'll have somebody born straight into a heavenly space, but their essence is dark because they got a lot of shit to work through in that life. Or you'll have someone who is born into a hell, but they bring in a lot of light, and they have to work through how to use that light in a hellish environment. You understand? It's to call myself I am all good and all love, or to call myself I'm all bad and all demonic and dark. Though that's unhealthy and it's imbalanced. We always want to aim outside of ourselves to be something outside of ourselves. Right? That's why we have statues. We have angelic statues. We got Shiva statues. We got Buddha statues. We got all this other stuff. And one thing I will say about the Islamic religion is that it was very important to not have pictures of animals or people. Do not look outside yourself. You know what I'm saying? I know in most spiritual practices, people will, in other religions that use statues and stuff like that, it is a reminder, it is a mirror of Jesus Christ on the cross, it's a mirroring the Jesus in you, or when you have Shiva or Ganesh, right? The Hindu gods and goddesses, or Lakshmi, and you have a little altar, and there, when you look at it, meditate on that, it's an energy that you can, it's like a reminder of the Lakshmi energy you have within yourself. I understand that to a certain extent. But truly, the dichotomy, this split, we are both light and dark. And you know, also in the English language, you have, when you look up in the Webster's Dictionary, the definition of black being evil and dark and scary, right? You turn off all the lights, and that's where the darkness and the shadow come out. That's where the mystery of the unknown come out to play, and it messes with you and it tricks you, and you think you hear this or that, you know, when you're a little kid and you look in your closet and you think something's gonna come out of it, right? But my understanding now of darkness and blackness, I think of a seed. And in order for a seed to germinate, what does it need? It needs a damp, kind of cold, damp, dark place in space in the soil where there is no light. And that is where it begins to germinate. And that first little bud comes out, and then the light from the sun comes and it hits, and it begins to grow. Or you think of a woman's womb, where she has the egg. The egg is, you know, the seed of the man comes in and then fertilizes the egg, and the egg is implanted into her womb, down her fallopian tubes, you know, and into the womb, into the uterus, and it begins to grow. The last time I checked, you know, it's not shining like the sun down there, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's dark space, and it's a warm place for the child to grow. The child grows in darkness, in the darkness of the womb. Or I think of space, all the beautiful stars, but what's holding the stars? The dark matter. They still don't know what it truly consists of to this day. A mystery. So, evil, good. It's weird. Evil backwards is live. Live backwards is evil. So anything that goes against life is deemed as evil. But if you go deeper, anything that goes against life, it to me, it makes life, it activates something in the essence of life that makes life prosper. Think about our ancestors. We fought hard to be here. Everything that is living and surrounding us organically fought hard to be here. Think of the ancestors of the trees, of the ancestors of the birds, the ones who came before us, hundreds and hundreds of generations before us. Every living species fought hard to be here. The force that goes against life, evil, right? Live, evil, evil, live, right? It forces live. It forces life to prosper. It gives life purpose. Would life be life without purpose? Would life be life without drive and will? Do you see? So in some regards, in order for consciousness and evolution to take place, we would need this other force as a driving force to help us evolve. But I also wonder what it would be like if we didn't have that force to begin with. Would life prosper as it is now? Would consciousness, would spirit expand? Would there even be a need? Would there be no purpose? Could it be that evil, bad, right, negative, is the very force that gives life purpose? Purpose to do better, to be better. It's just a question. That's all I have in this video anyway, so I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.